First things first, Tom. How
Hello.
are you?
Yeah, good. How you doing?
I'm alright.
Good.
So, with the first question might be a little bit odd question, but I saw something online that you posted where you recommended Cinema Paradiso
Oh
as a
yeah.
movie, and it just so happened I interviewed a group the other day that played that song, that soundtrack, which is by Ennio Morricone. So,
Yeah.
what role does music play for you in movies? 'Cause you are a big film buff, I believe.
Yeah, I love films. Always on the hunt for great films. Yeah, I think I love the way music combines with film. I think when it's done sort of well, it's like really is the most moving bit of art you can see
Right.
and hear. When it's that combination is really interesting, and the two complement each other very well, I think. Yeah, I think it's kind of. I'd love to do it someday. I'd love to try and write some music for a film.
And do you notice in your own songwriting, even when you were a lot younger, did it have a certain cinematic quality, so to say, that you could imagine kind of images with it?
Yeah, I guess I've always been quite into. I like the sort of theatrical side of things, and the sort of. I guess my music could be described as dramatic. It is very dramatic, and I like that sort of drama, and that cinema-inspired music is interesting to me.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting to me when you have a certain scene, and there might be something very simple happening between two people, and you put two different types of music to it, and you put a very a happy bit of music to it, and it makes the conversation very happy or the interaction very happy. You put something sad to it, it completely changes the way you're perceiving something. There's a bit in that film, do you know Philadelphia, Tom Hanks? There's a bit when he's listening to that opera in his flat or whatever, and always that scene always resonated with me. It's so beautiful, so sad. Yeah, I don't know what I think of that.
But the way kind of movies then manipulate this might be a strong word, but manipulate emotions and is that, are you very consciously doing that in your own music then? Is that what when you write a song? Is that I want to convey this emotion here and this?
Well, I think interestingly, that idea that music manipulates the picture, I think writing songs is interesting, because I think when you're writing a song, you're manipulating the lyrics. So you're a certain phrase, you put different music, a certain type of music beneath that phrase, and it shapes what you're saying.
Right.
And so you can say the most mundane of lines, but all of a sudden it can be given this depth with a certain type of music. I think of that song by The National, the lemon, you and your sister are the lemon something. I can't remember, something lemon, but it's a great song, and like when you listen to that, I don't know why it's about something about lemons, or I don't know, it's interesting, but like I was listening to it in the car the other day, and I was like, it's amazing sometimes how music can give a phrase so much depth, and I think that's kind of what songwriting is all about. It's the marriage between the words and the music, and how you how the two come together. And sometimes you can write the most, sometimes I write myself a line that I think is brilliant in a notebook, and I'm really happy with it, and you put it to the wrong music, it doesn't really sound right. And it's kind of vice versa. It's I think it's not about, my favourite music is not necessarily about clever lines, it's about how they go together with the music.
So is that difficult to balance those two worlds? This I suppose is different for each song that you write, but do you generally start with the music, or?
No, it's always, I think for me it's always different. It's always different whether first a piece of music conjures up a line in your head. I think for me it often works with, like, I'll have I write a lot in a notebook and I play around a lot on the piano, and the two things might come separately, or sometimes they come at the same time. But quite often it will be a phrase I've been thinking about for a while, and that will come into my head whilst I'm searching for some chords and stuff. I think it's always different.
Okay. So if we take your latest record, Round Crowd, was there maybe a certain phrase that you thought of when you started the whole process of making an album?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. But I remember like one of the songs on Round Crowd is called. There's a song called Somehow on there, which is like. I remember I was thinking about like that idea of. I don't know. I was thinking about that idea for a while, and I was thinking about Wrong Crowd, the phrase, for a while. I had that written in my notebook for a while before I wrote the song, and so it's. I think it was I got that from a book or something I'd read. And, yeah.
And then, do you know immediately why it connects to you, or is it something kind of subconscious as well? And then maybe later you can discern why something struck you, or.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's like, when you go around an art gallery, you stop at certain paintings or photographs,
Right.
and you can't really explain why one painting reaches out to you more than the next one. And if you could explain it, I feel like some of the joys of art would be the magic would be lost slightly. I think it's that unexplainable liking that you have for some things that like I think that's what makes it so sort of mystical and magical, and certainly keeps me coming back to it. You can't really explain why you like a piece of music. You just do.
But can you recognize it then immediately when you're writing songs? Do you know immediately?
Yes, I think it's important to have that, like, to be very in tune with what you like and what you don't like. And a lot of my time is spent trying to get myself in this sort of psyche where I feel like I'm in tune with something real, that I'm able to know what is good and what's not good, and I think that's by reading lots and listening to lots of music and trying to have some sort of nutritional life.
Trying to live healthy.
I don't know about healthy, but like creatively healthy is important. I think not too much sugary items, if you get what I mean.
Sure, but is mood then something that kind of dictates a lot?
Yeah, mood. Yeah, it's I always think that I always know the sort of I can recognize the kind of mood that I'm in when I'm going to write a good song.
Okay.
That I know that I'm in. I know what kind of mood it feels like to be in when I write a good song, and I can feel it when I'm in it, and it doesn't happen very often.
Okay.
A lot of the time you're frantically trying to get back there, but
was there such a moment around Crowd?
I think so, yeah.
Do you remember for which song, or?
No.
Okay.
I mean, I think probably for all of them, in the sense that like I write a lot of bad songs, really bad songs, a lot of the time, and it's difficult to if I played you all the songs that I'd written, really some of them are really dreadful. You might think they're all dreadful, but
so in a way you need to get those out before.
Yeah, I write hundreds of songs. It's a pain in the arse to get to any sort of gold.
And then this is going to be difficult because you already touched upon it. But do you know what you like in a song? Do you know what makes a good song for you?
I think it's something that makes you feel something, and I think to be honest with you, as a songwriter, and I do it as most of my time is spent songwriting. I'd say that you can fool yourself into thinking you understand what makes a good song, and it's those moments. It's a bottomless pit that I don't think there is any one intellectual thing you can put a good song down to. I don't think it's the lyrics, it's the recording. I think it's all of the things combined. I always think the good example is that Alabama Shake songs, Hold On.
Right.
It's one. I remember at the time when that came out, I was writing these like songs with loads of chords and like trying to write these really elaborate melodies. And I heard that on YouTube and I was like, it's one chord played throughout the whole song, one chord, and it's just so moving. And so I don't know if it's about you can't put it down to one.
You can't quantify it.
Into one thing. Yeah. Right. And that's the magic of it. It's what keeps us musicians constantly searching for, I think.
And then, well, not just the wrong crowd then, but what song do you think you've gotten closest, in a sense, to your own kind of image of a perfect song?
I mean, I don't know, because I don't know. Because I think what to me is a perfect song is different to what someone else's perfect song is, and also, I'm not really sure that there is a perfect song. I think it's just different for everybody, and I think ultimately there's songs that connect very sort of innocently and purely, and I think those songs are often the ones that I would call that the closest to perfection, when there's something said that is so honest and pure and without any contrivedness.
Right.
When you I guess when you're doing this, you can get so wrapped up in all the little levels of, you kind of like, oh, I'd like to sound like that. You see a band, you're like, I'd like to sound like that, and then you try and write a song like that, but that's not sort of pure, you know. I don't know. I'm gibbering on. I mean, I don't know what I'm talking about.
That's very. I find it very interesting, because then do you have a similar approach to playing live? Where I've seen footage of you playing live, and you really go for it. So is that the same? Not trying to be contrived, to be as honest and pure as possible.
Yeah, I think doing a show is slightly different, because I think there's a sort of you can't deny that there is a sort of time slot you're given, and so there has to be some order to it, in the sense that you've got this time slot and you know that you have to get into a place of musicality in that time slot. So there is a certain amount of show there, that there's things you do to get you into that place. And you do the set list and I guess that kind of thing, but there's a little bit more order to it. But yeah, I've forgotten what I'm talking about.
Is it for you a very conscious thing, playing live?
No, it's very it's a very sort of like close your eyes and really almost meditative in a way. Everything goes out the window and you're just in that moment. They're the best shows, when you really, really shut your eyes and lose yourself into it. That's the best shows. I think when you're slightly aware of your own surroundings and you're slightly aware of the audience, and just a bit self-conscious, I think that's the shows when you start questioning yourself, and really it should just be a sort of mad throwing paint at the canvas thing. Doing a show.
Very last question then. Does that happen often, those shows?
Yeah, I like to think so. Yeah, I mean, it probably happens more like for moments of shows.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But I don't know, like the art of a show is interesting. It's like I'm still learning about what makes a good show. You go and see Bruce Springsteen; he does it well.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
All right, Tom. Thank you very much for your time.
Yeah. Thanks, man.
Thank you.